further ado, welcome Eric Schneller.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, please keep eating, enjoy your food. But I am going to ask, if you haven't already, write down on the card that you have your answer to that warm-up question.
Oh.
So what are your goals for students? What drives you to teach, to commit to the profession of being an educator? And please begin with students will. And you could draw or you could write. So I'm going to pause here, give you a minute if you haven't already added to it, or if another idea has come to mind. This is just individual, so no collaborating yet. Well, for the door prize, Robbie?
Yes,
Yes.
I will take it eventually, but no
And-
worries right now.
Yes. It could just be a bullet point. It could be something that you've well formed before this, or maybe you're just thinking about it for the first time. Welcome, welcome. Oh, you're good. Thank you, Robbie. All right, so if you still have more things to write down, that's quite all right. Please keep going. But welcome again. My name is Eric Schneller, and this is Purpose-Driven Pedagogy, Meeting the Moment as an Educator. So just to give you a little background on what I'm up to right now and what I did in the past. So these are the 3 courses that I'm currently teaching at JMU. So I've got Elementary Education 332, which is Science Methods for pre-service elementary teachers. And I'm also in the College of Math and Science, teaching some Intro to Physical Geology and some Environmental Science 101. So a little bit of a mix. This is my first semester teaching at JMU. And for 10 years prior to that, I worked for Harrisonburg City Public Schools. I taught biology for 1 semester, my last semester, earth science, environmental science, also taught environmental science in Spanish, and then chemistry as well. And the last 2 years of my career there, I served as the assistant director of what's called the Governor STEM Academy, about 360 students across 2 high schools that are part of the STEM program. So that gives you just a little background on me and what I'm up to these days. And I want to tell you, everything that I've done in the past 10 years, really I can trace back to a couple books in my grad school program at Iowa State University. And this quote from Neil Postman sums up a lot of what has driven me and what this session is all about. So Neil said, at its best, schooling can be about how to make a life, which is quite different from how to make a living. So we're going to think about what these words might mean from this former educator in this session. And there's 2 things really that I want to spend some time sharing with you all. 1, thinking about what is an educator, defining that word, and then 2, thinking about what you are writing down right now. What are your goals for students? And how might that be your compass? So, please, tell me, what does the word educator mean?
Someone who educates.
Okay, thank you, yes.
Forward on the definition.
That's all right. What else?
Inspirer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, so it could be just what comes to mind, or maybe you do know the definition.
A guide.
Thank you.
A safe space. Someone who spreads knowledge.
Shares knowledge, you said?
Spreads.
Spreads knowledge. Thank you.
A leader.
A leader.
A role model.
Thank you. Who, if anyone else has an idea?
Poor.
Poor? It depends on the district, hopefully. No, we're definitely not in this for the money, per se. All right, these are all very relevant things. Well, I want you to know the definition. So it's Latin, and it comes from educare or sere. I've never took Latin, so if you know how to pronounce it.
Right. The C would be ka.
Thank you.
Latin.
There we go. Which means to rear up, or to rear, to nourish, or to bring up. And it comes from the verb educere, care.
Correct.
Thank you, to lead out. So an educator, by definition, is someone who nourishes growth and leads out their learners towards new understanding. So please be thinking about that as we proceed of everything that we do as educators. If we're by definition, this is what it means. So I want you to consider, what is it that you want to lead out? from your students? What is it that you want to nourish from your students, in your students? So this is where we go back to what you were writing down on your warm-up, and here is where we're going to do a little collaboration. So I'm going to ask you to do 3 things. 1, share what did you write with a seatmate, and then number 2, please discuss how will you know that students are meeting these goals? And please write that down too. So what would give you the evidence that they've met that goal? And then please be ready to share. What questions, if any, do you have about this? Let's take about 3 minutes to share out. Thank you. Of course. Okay. Thank you, thank you. So would love to kick it back to you all. Who would be willing to share? Tell us what is maybe just one goal that you have for your students, and then 2, what is one way that they would show you they're meeting that goal? Yes, please, and if you tell us your name as well, that'd be great.
I'm Shaylee. I'm from Eastern Mennonite University.
Woohoo!
I'm planning to do secondary biology. So I think students will be able to succeed and understand the basic necessities and importance of science. I think it's really important. But also, like, I think it should be representative. At EMU, we focus a lot on RJE. So just collaboration, relationships, student discourse, and just how it's applied in their everyday life. I think it's really important.
Thank you. And for those of you who don't know, RJ means it's Restorative Justice in Education, an amazing field. I actually did a grad certificate at EMU in RJE. Yes, yes, you're welcome. Please, who else is willing to share? What's one of your goals, and how will you know students have met it?
I'm Angeli Serga. I'm from William & Mary, and I'm also doing secondary biology with an ESL certification. And I said that students will develop the confidence to recognize and engage with STEM as it presents in different aspects of their daily lives. And specifically, I wanted to emphasize that I understand science and STEM learning and the science to be a lens, not the lens with which to understand the world, so that students feel confident bringing in pieces related to how I go about meeting these goals. They'll bring in comments, knowledge, connections that I don't explicitly prompt in their daily lives.
Thank you. Yeah, getting some snaps there. Let's go. Thank you. Who else is ready to share? Yes, please, and tell us your name as well.
I'm Taylor, and I'm in the University of Virginia's Master's of Teaching program right now, so I like it a lot. But one of my goals, the first one I thought of was like just the students will feel loved, welcome, and accepted. And I think like an indicator of that will be that they feel safe to share, or like safe to participate, and talk about different questions in class, talk with their group, and just participate in lab, or if they know they're welcome, like their ideas are like valid, and I want to hear them.
Thank you for naming that piece. Yes, what else? Tell us.
I am Cami. This is my second year or third year teaching science.
Let's go.
But first year teaching, or second year teaching middle school science, which is fun. So my goal is to build a lifelong framework for the natural world. And I'll know they've met that just through their ability to connect things across curricular and to connect the concepts that we've had to other concepts that might seem unrelated but are.
Wonderful. Thank you. Do we have one more person who would be ready to share? Yes, tell us.
I said I want students to, my name's Karma Gaden.
Thank you.
I'm from Buckingham, Virginia. I attend Longwood University right now, studying chemistry with a concentration in education. And one of my goals is that students will get a new mindset on hard classes. And I will attain this when I start hearing them talk about what they want to study in college, and that they say chemistry.
Thank you. Well, I am grateful for you taking the time to reflect now. We don't necessarily have time for every single person to share, but I want to tell you just a quick story. The first week of my Master's of Arts in Teaching at Iowa State, I think it was the second day, our professors, Dr. Michael Clough and Dr. Joanne Olson, they asked us, why are you here? I remember sitting there thinking, that's kind of a dumb question. Like, I'm here to learn how to be a teacher. Duh. And they paused for a moment, and then they said something that resounds in my brain, reverberates in my brain still today. They said, come up with good reasons to teach, because if you don't, one of two things is going to happen. One, you're either going to burn out of the profession prematurely, or two, you're going to, quote, damage children. And I was like, wow, okay, that's how we're starting. And I have to tell you, of everything that I've done in the past 10 years, that has stuck with me the most, of asking myself, why am I setting my alarm every day at 5:45 to get up and walk through these doors again and again and again and again? Knowing that if I don't have those good reasons, that I'm going to leave the profession before I want to, or two, consciously or unconsciously hurt children because I'm not purpose-driven. So when we think about what are our roots here of how we want our classrooms to look, everything that's going to feed you for your profession now and in the future comes back to what you're talking about and what you wrote down. For example, this is one of my goals that I had written in the past. So I started out with 10 goals, and I'm down to 3 now. And that's worth noting that your goals will evolve as you do. And so goal number 2 for a while was students will exhibit a deep understanding of fundamental science content and the nature of science. And then what you see here are just 4 examples of how they would show me that they're meeting this goal. So back to that grad program. After they asked us those 2 questions, they left the room. And for the rest of that block, I and my colleagues spent 2 hours coming up with good reasons for being teachers. And then the next lesson was, okay, you have your goals, but how will you know your students are going to meet those goals? So we developed long lists of ways that students would meet those goals. What's that? Oh, sorry. Oh, no, you're good. So as you start to think about, okay, what does that evidence look like? That is a crucial piece. It's one thing to have a goal, but it's entirely different to say, and here's how I know they're going to meet that goal. And I think we need some clarity here. Student goals are not state standards. Amen. Thank you. So why do we teach is the question that we answer student goals with. What do we teach is the answer, or the question for state standards. So think about that just for a little bit. So maybe you wrote down that you really want students to love science. That's awesome. So think about what is your why there. Not just what you want them to learn, but why do you want them to learn in the first place? Now I would put this question to my students every year at the high school and ask them, why are you here? Borrowing from my professors, and they would be like, because we have to be, because the law says we have to be, because my parents told me I have to be here. And I would ask them, are those good enough reasons for you? Most teenagers would say no. And also most of them were like, I don't know why I'm here. And just being here because we're told to be here usually doesn't motivate anyone, let alone teenagers. So I would ask them to come up with their own goals. And I'll share this presentation with you, Robbie. And at the end of this presentation, you'll see there's a link to quarter goal setting that I would have every one of my students do. So I have my goals, but then they would write their own goals. So they would come up with their own reasons beyond I'm here because I have to be here. So as I mentioned, like a compass, our student goals is what's going to guide you for your teaching and learning. And that's going to evolve. And your journey may take you places that you cannot predict, which is the wonderful thing about life, that you don't know where it's going to take you. I did not see myself, 1, in Virginia, or 2, let alone teaching the courses I am now. But I can tell you everything that has guided me has been related to my goals. These are my 3 goals for students now. I'll pause so you can read them to yourself. When a student asks me, why are we learning this? Here's my answer. What does this lab have to do with chemistry? Here's my answer. Why are you making us stand up and present? Here's my answer. Everything that I do, both with secondary students and now with undergrad students, revolves around these 3 things that guide my actions. And for a while now, being involved in education, I also have educator goals. So I want to show you those 3 goals. So what motivates me for this session is you all as budding teachers or current teachers. These are reasons why I show up to a session like this. Please, a question, comment?
I was just wondering if these slides will be available somewhere, and also what does it look like to discuss these goals with your students?
Yes, I'll answer both those questions. The first one I'll share with you, Robbie, and then I don't know if you have people's emails. I should have put a QR code, pardon me. And then your question was about students writing their own goals?
Just you introducing your goals maybe, or if you do that at all with students. And
Yes.
Yeah, like getting them to say their own goals.
Awesome, thank you. So, number one, these are in my syllabus. They have been for the past 10 years, page 1, before, grades and, this is what we're gonna learn. I want them to know why I'm here. So I asked students, like I told you, why are you all here? And then sometimes they ask me, well, why are you here, Mr. Sneller? Many times they don't. And I'll say like, hey, no one asked me, why am I here? So I just bring it up and I tell them, well, here's why I'm here.